Unitic here, trying a little nighttime filming experiment. Not sure if this is going to come out or not, but we're going to give it a try. It's a little after 1 a.m. on September 10th, and I'm laying here in my jury-rigged, knotted-together hammock, trying not to move because I'll fall out the side. It's about half as wide as it was before it tore. Not getting much sleep. I'm going to hike into into the road and hitchhike into Bennington tomorrow. Was able to exchange a text with my buddy David before my phone died and confirm that he got my voicemail and is sending my other hammock to Bennington, so hopefully I'll be sleeping good on the trail again soon. But I wanted to do a video, a little something different. Since I couldn't sleep, I thought I'd try to do it here. About synchronicities and some of the experiences on the trail that I'm noticing, just because probably I've narrowed my experience and reality down to such a simple level out here. And one of the elements that I'm paying a lot more attention to are the people that I meet and the circumstances that I experience and come across every day. So a couple of days ago, I walked into Danby, Vermont to pick up a mail drop with some supplies in it. And it was right after the 19-mile day, so I hit the road and was really hoping to hitchhike. It's 3.5 miles from this little road down into Danby. But not any traffic was coming, so I just started walking. It was all downhill, which meant if I couldn't get a ride, it was going to be all uphill. Another 3.5 miles, 7 miles round trip on the road to get back to the trail. So all those thoughts are kind of swimming through my head as I'm hiking down that there. You may have seen a video I recorded while I was walking that. And I'm walking on the right side of the road so I can turn and stick my thumb out if a car comes. And after about 45 minutes, I decided to change to the other side of the road, just because the crown of the road can kind of be hard on your walking if you're, staying on one side, leaning that way, lopsided for a long period. So I changed to the other side of the road and just for a moment kind of got lost in thought. And before I know it, a pickup truck passed me. Before I even noticed it was, the sound was coming up behind me, I was just lost in thought. And as it passed me, I'm like, oh my God, the one vehicle, and probably would have stopped because I could have just jumped in the back of the pickup truck. And I miss it because I'm lost in thought, and I changed sides of the road, and I started berating myself mentally and beating myself up, which I've noticed is a far more regular habit than I would have believed before, when 10 hours a day you're lost with just yourself out in the woods to listen to your own thoughts. But in the next moment, I thought, well, this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to miss that truck. And literally the thought came to me, I'm probably going to meet somebody now that otherwise I wouldn't have met if I'd gotten in that truck. Not more than 5 minutes later, I round the bend in the road, and here's a couple hiking toward me. I'm back on the right side of the road now, so they're following the law and hiking against traffic. And smiles on their faces when they see me, and we stop and exchange greetings. And it's a gentleman named Gary and his fiance. I later found out Gary's name, and I apologize, I can't remember his fiance's name, but hopefully Gary and I will communicate again. And as we chat, and I tell him my dilemma, he says, look, we're just out for a walk. I think I can help you. And he offers to meet me at the post office and bring me back to the trail, which is great. So I head on down the road, wind up walking all the way to Danby. There's a little country store there, so I stop in there first to get a few trail items and a treat or two, and then walk a block or two over to the post office. Get my mail drop. My cell phone is really low on juice, and the postmaster agrees that I can plug my cell phone in there, and it's starting to charge, and I take the box outside to repackage everything and put it in my backpack. And Gary has just pulled up in his van to give me a ride. So I hurriedly pack everything and run back in and get my cell phone. It's just, charged for a few minutes, so it's still low. And Gary and I have the most amazing conversation on the way back to the trail about the nature of our culture and our society. Gary's an artist. He's a musician, a college professor, a philosopher. And we just talk about the confines of our culture and how our society kind of artificially forces people into playing roles, professional roles, and others that aren't necessarily their nature, aren't necessarily representative and expressive of who they came here to be. And Gary teaches some amazing classes he's designed that he described to me, and I later told him I really hoped he would video those, because as he was describing how he tries to reach young people with the value of finding that inner artist and that inner creative expression, and not losing yourself into, the artificial nature of what society conditions you to be. I was really hoping I could watch a class like that. And so anyway, Gary and I knew each other in that morning for 45 minutes, half hour maybe. We wind up hugging as we depart and exchanging information so we can communicate later on. And it was just the highlight of my day. It was just an amazing experience and put a big smile on my face. So fast forward to my hammock ripping. Hammock rips night before last. By this time my cell phone has almost completely died. The cold weather just drained the battery much faster than it was before. I'm in the dark, in the cold, wondering how I'm going to get through the night. I'm having this inner dialogue of, why did this happen now? I just came from town. According to the map, I've got 30 miles more to get to the next road, and I got no cell phone. So, same inner dialogue, yada, yada, yada. That negative voice inside my head, we all have them, is beating me up. Next morning, I decide I'm going to have to hike 19 miles, which I did today, and get myself close to the road. So tomorrow morning I'll hike 10 miles out. I'm hiking up Stratton Mountain and run into a guy packing up camp just short of the summit. And his trail name is Dixie Grits. Well, he offers to let me use his cell phone. I text David. We have a great conversation. He finds out that I'm going to be presenting, I tell him, at the American Long Distance Hikers Association in early October, if I can hike 400 miles and get close to there, and near Shippensburg University, Pennsylvania. So I'm really excited about October 14th I'll be presenting. And he happens to mention in the course of conversation that his son just graduated from Virginia Tech, and he owns a home there that he bought for his son to use. And he finds out through this conversation that I'm also supposed to present to the outdoor club at Virginia Tech at the invitation of the son of one of our Lyme support group members. He offers to let me stay in his home while I'm there, and that his son can come pick me up from the trail. We exchange contact information. And then a few moments later, I get to the summit of Stratton Mountain, and a woman walks up with a backpack on, naturally, and her name is Peru. And I've just heard about her the day before from a couple of other hikers, because I was asking if they knew of any southbounders out there. Starting to get a little lonely out here. They mentioned Peru, who they've just met. Peru proceeds to tell me that she has Lyme disease right now and is being treated, and also had it once before, caught it in Connecticut, which I'm heading through probably. I'll be there in another week. Anyway, she and her boyfriend are going to be at the Alda gathering and will see my lecture, and we're going to connect again there. But none of those people, Gary, Dixie Grits, or Peru, would I've met if circumstances had gone according to what I thought they should have happened. I should have caught that ride with that pickup truck. I should have had a full charge of my cell phone battery and been able to call David and make my own plans. I wouldn't have been on top of Stratton Mountain that early that morning trying to do 19 miles to meet Peru. So the trail keeps offering the experiences that maybe from a higher self perspective are most appropriate for allowing you to have the next experience in your spiritual journey. And it's just that you notice it out here more. I do, and I've heard these same kind of stories from other people for years. I think they're happening all the time in our daily life, but we just don't notice them because we're so distracted. So anyway, a little different ramble with my insomnia right now. These thoughts are running through my head, but it was a pretty incredible couple of days. Now I'm just wondering who I'm going to meet in Bennington, which was a town I wasn't even going to visit. So hope this comes out, and pardon the rambling nature of this video, but I just thought I'd share that with you. It was a meaningful experience to me. So at 1:30 a.m., this is Unitic out.